Hello, everyone. Welcome to yoga class. My name is Caitlin. If you haven't practiced with me, welcome. If you've practiced with me before, welcome back. We're going to go ahead and get started with our 45-minute practice today by sitting in a comfortable seat, either cross-legged, or if you would like to come down onto your back. If you do that, we'll keep knees up to the sky to keep some activity in the body and not come into a full relaxation. Excuse me. We'll close the eyes and start tapping into the breath, inhaling in through the nose, down into the belly. Noticing any thoughts you might have, any feelings, circumstances, to-do lists, emails that you're bringing with you onto the mat. And see if we can choose to set them off to the side. Showing up and being present. If you haven't already, I would invite you to start lengthening your exhales longer than your inhales. Maybe using a count of 3 and 5. If that's too much room for your body today, maybe doing a count of 2 and 4, 1 and 3. And anytime the mind begins to wander, we gently, kindly refocus, recenter on the breath. During our last minutes, let's take a body scan, starting either at the head or at the feet. Noticing sensations in each part of the body. Maybe there are sensations that are negatively associated. But don't forget to make mention of the positive sensations too. including in your body scan, all of the little connections, the fingertips touching the legs, the collar of your shirt moving on your inhales and exhales. Maybe even the movement of your eyes underneath your eyelids. Take 2 more breath cycles here. Full inhale and full exhale. On your last exhale, we'll gently open the eyes. We're going to take some nice seated cat-cows, so some spinal flexion and extension in a seated position. So palms will come to the knees. We inhale, we send the chest forward, shoulders drop down away from the ears, shoulder blades are pinching together. We lift the chin up towards the sky. Exhale, we round through, we draw the belly button back towards the spine, engaging the center. As we start to round the shoulders through, rounding the spine, dropping the chin to chest. Inhale, belly, chest comes forward. We arch in the upper back, chin lifts up towards the sky. Exhale, round through for your seated cat. Inhale, open the chest, gaze lifts. Exhale, we round through. Inhale, last time. Coming into your seated cow. Exhale, we round through, engaging at the center. Inhale brings us back to a neutral spine. We inhale, both arms come up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, palms shine out in front of us as the arms start to widen into a V. We bend at the elbows, bringing the elbows in line with the shoulders. Cactus arms, chin lifts up towards the sky. Maybe you shine the palms up towards the ceiling, pulling the fingers behind you in space. Exhale, arms lift, palms kiss together as chin levels back off parallel to the ground. Biceps are right by the ears, belly is tight. Inhale to grow tall. Exhale, we've got a wide V, palms open towards the front of the mat. We drop the shoulders in line, or excuse me, the elbows in line with the shoulders. Gaze lifts up towards the sky. Maybe the palms shine up towards the ceiling. Exhale, arms lift, palms come together, chin neutralizes. Last time, inhale to grow tall. Exhale, cactus arms. Chest is nice and wide open, so shoulder blades are pinching together, then melting down the back body. Stay here for a big inhale, and then on the exhale, slowly we'll neutralize the chin, but we draw both elbows into the side body, palms drop down to the mat in space. Inhale, both arms come back up overhead, palms kiss together. They flip to shine forward as we start to bend from the hips, draping the fingers in front of us until they come down to the earth. So you may stay here, this may be your range today, or we drop the elbows onto the mat and begin to drop the forehead and the crown down to the earth. Fingers are nice and wide. And stay inhaling deep into the belly.
Feeling that expanse of the skin in the low back. And on the exhale, we feel this softening starting at the tail, working its way up to the crown. Stay for one more inhale. Exhale, we use the heel of the palm to gently rise back up to where we started. Palms are face down or pressed down onto the ground. From here, we roll forward onto all fours, or if that's not comfortable, you can always swing the legs off to the side to meet us on all in a tabletop position. Once we get here, wrists are right underneath the shoulders, knees are right underneath the hips. We're going to start to bump the hips from in one direction, maybe over to the left and looking over the opposite shoulder. Stay for the inhale. And on the exhale, we come back through center, taking it to the other side. One more time. So we're creating almost this figure 8 shape with the body. Let's do one more round here. Excellent, and we'll meet back in our tabletop position. Left hand is going to come right underneath the nose, right underneath the gaze. Elbow crease shines forward towards the front of the mat. We're pressing down firmly through the tops of the feet and pressing away from the yoga mat with the left hand. Inhale, right arm swings up and open, really drawing that shoulder blade towards the middle of the back. Exhale, right hand replaces the left as we swing left arm out and up towards the ceiling. Exhale, left hand replaces right. One more time, each side. Exhale, left side out and open. Exhale, left hand drops. We square back off into our tabletop position. Right arm again swings out to the side laterally. And on the exhale, it swoops across the midline underneath the left shoulder as we begin to drop the right shoulder, right ear down onto the mat. Hips stay elevated right above the knees. Left hand can be reaching out towards the front of the mat. You can bring the left hand right in front of the face, squaring off at the elbow. Maybe you bring the left hand, the palm, to the small of the low back. Or maybe you even wrap the left hand around the low back to rest the palm on the top of the right thigh. And pressing into the feet, keeping the hips right above the knees. One more breath here. And exhale, we press into the left hand, unraveling from any bind to bring ourselves back up to our neutral position. We reset. Inhale, left arm swings out to the side. Exhale, left arm drops underneath right as we come down onto the left shoulder, left ear, finding the hand placement on the right side. One more inhale. Exhale, we press into the right hand, drawing ourselves back up to our tabletop position. Hands walk out in space as we curl the toes under. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, we're sending the hips up high for downward facing dog. So when you get here, we check our alignment. Elbow creases are shining towards each other or towards the front of the mat. We're pressing into the fingertips, the meaty part of the hand and the heel to lift out of the shoulder joints. Shoulder blades are spread wide across the back. Belly button is tight to the spine, and then belly drops towards the tops of the thighs. Toes are pointed ever so slightly to the midline, encouraging this external rotation of the hips up towards the ceiling. Biceps are right by the ears, or ears right by the biceps, whatever way you prefer to think about it. Knees can be as bent or as straight as feels comfortable for you today, but while we're here, maybe we take our dog on a little walk, warming up the hamstrings. Stay for one more breath. And on your exhale, we make our way to the top of the mat, whether that's taking one big step, a few little steps, maybe hopping is in your practice, and we do that today. And we'll meet together in forward fold to release the spine, the neck, the cervical spine. Maybe you shake the head, yes, and then no. Maybe you clasp opposite elbows and gently sway side to side. Then we find a moment of stillness, really letting any pressure in the spine release. We're being mindful of the placement of our feet, our foundation. So we're pressing equally into the heel and the ball joint of the big toe, ball joint of the little toe, arches are lifted. One more inhale and exhale. We'll slowly start to roll our way up to mountain. Arms come with us, up overhead, and then palms kiss together, descending at the heart space. We're going to do some sun salutation flows here to warm up the body even more. So arms go down to come up. Palms kiss together and can stay together, or you can flip the palms externally, widening the hands into a wide V and swan dive down into your forward fold, or you keep the palms together. Inhale lifts you up halfway. Hands are either on the shins, the tops of the thighs, or fingertips down to the ground. Belly button is pulled back towards the spine, so we're making this figure 7 shape with the body. Chest is wide open. Exhale, we fold. Make your way to plank, either one foot at a time, or if hopping again is in your practice, you can hop your way back to plank. Inhale to shift forward. Exhale to lower halfway or all the way for upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, we move from our center, coming into our downward facing dog. We're going to add a little extra movement here into our sun salutations. So when we're in downward dog, we inhale, lift the right leg up high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, we step the left or the right foot, goodness, up in between the hands. Exhale, we rise up to high lunge, maybe widening the stance of the arms to a wide V. Inhale, exhale, we fold, framing the foot. We draw the right foot back to meet the left. Take another chaturanga. So inhale, to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting the left leg up high, 3-legged dog, stepping it up in between the hands. We're here for one breath. Exhale, we rise up to high lunge. Widening the arms into a wide V. Exhale, we fold, hands frame the foot. We draw the left foot back to meet the right in downward facing dog. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, we step it up, rolling our way up to mountain. Exhale, palms kiss together and descend at the heart space. And you jump right back in, so arms go down to come up. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, lifts halfway. Exhale, fold, hopping or stepping back to plank. We inhale to shift forward, upward facing dog or cobra, your choice. Exhale, fold. Making your way to plank. Right leg kicks up high. Lunge for one inhale as you rise on the exhale. Widening the arms into a V on your next exhale. Same for the inhale. And exhale, we drape the belly right back over the thighs. Hands come to frame the foot as we move from the hip, from the center, drawing that right foot back to meet the left in downward facing dog to take it to the other side. Left leg kicks up high. Right foot steps in between the hands where you stay for the inhale. Exhale sends you up into high lunge. Inhale widens your arms into a V. Exhale, belly drapes over thighs. We come to frame the left foot. Left foot draws back to meet the right in downward facing dog where we stay for one breath. Exhale steps you up. Palms descend at the heart space. Arms go down to come up. Move at your own pace on this one, adding or omitting anything that does or does not serve you today. Ooh, and if you were listening to me instead of listening to your own intuition, we lucked out on that last one because we forgot our extra chaturangas. So you're in high lunge. Exhale, we fold, belly comes back over. We frame the foot, drawing it back into plank first, and then upward facing dog or cobra. Making your way back to downward facing dog to take it to the left-hand side. I don't know if you guys can hear that trash can outside. You can hear that because it's Tuesday, because we had a little issue yesterday, which is why we don't do this usually on Tuesdays. It's trash day. That's okay. Here we go again. Exhale, fold. Inhale lifts you halfway. Lunge for one breath. Exhale helps you rise up to high lunge. Wide V, maybe chest lifts. Exhale, we frame the foot. Right draws back to meet the left in plank where you take another chaturanga. Back in plank, you take another upward facing dog or cobra. Before rising back up, into downward facing dog. You're here for one breath cycle. Exhale, feels your movement stepping all the way up to the top of the mat. Arms roll up, kiss together, and descend at the heart space. We're going to add on to our dance here. So sticking with your breath if you've lost it. Arms go down to come up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, lifts you halfway. Exhale, we fold. Palms come down to the mat. We step back. We're pressing into the fingertips, doming out. The palms protecting the wrists. So we're in plank. We drop both heels over to the right. Toes point over to the left. You can stay there, or maybe we lift left arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, we rotate back to center. Heels drop over to the left. Toes point over to the right as we lift right arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale back to center as we lower all the way down onto the belly or upward facing dog. Exhale, fold, we curl the toes, pressing up to plank, and then hips lift into downward facing dog. Stay for a breath if you need to. And then inhale, right leg lifts up high. We step it up into our lunge. Exhale sends us up to high lunge. We widen the arms into a V. Exhale, palms come together. This time, elbow to the outside of the right knee as we find our twist. If that is not where your body's at today and you want to bring the left hand to the outside of the right knee instead and find your twist that way. Exhale, we swing the arms back up, squaring the hips off into high lunge for one breath as we pivot on the back foot, opening up to warrior two. Exhale, front arm lifts, back arm drops, peaceful warrior. Trying to keep length in both sides of the torso here. Exhale, extended side angle, your version. Exhale, powers you back up, peaceful warrior. Exhale, we pivot. Ooh, framing that foot, we draw the right back to meet the left. Yeah, you know it. We're dropping all the way down to the belly, cobra. Exhale, fold, curl the toes under, we power up to plank, then hips up high for downward facing dog to take it to the other side. Left leg lifts up high. Exhale, we step it up. Stay for the inhale and lunge. Exhale, we rise. Widening the V on the inhale. Exhale, palms kiss together, right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Heart shoots towards the thumbs. Or your version of the twist. Exhale, arms swing back up, squaring off the hips in high lunge before we pivot, opening up to warrior two. Finding your center, so hips underneath the heart space right underneath the head, so earlobes in line with the shoulders. Shoulders in line with the hips. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Length in both sides of the torso here. Exhale, extended side angle, your version. Exhale, we press into that front foot, engage the abdomen, swinging the arms back up into peaceful warrior. Exhale, we windmill, spiraling back down, hands frame the foot. We draw the left back to meet the right. Exhale, lower all the way down to the belly, toes flip. Inhale for cobra, head is the last thing to rise. Exhale, fold. Toes curl, we power up to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog for one breath. Stay for your next inhale. Exhale, we step our way up to mountain, rolling. Arms come with us up overhead. Palms kiss together and descend at the heart space. We're gonna do one more round just like that. Arms go down to come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Move at your own pace, but I'll walk you through it with my voice. Exhale, heels drop to the right, toes to the left as we open, left arm up to the sky. Exhale, we square back off, shoulders and hips are pointed down to the mat. Heels drop over to the left, toes to the right, right arm lifts up to the sky. Exhale, shoulders and hips square back off as we chaturanga down to upward facing dog or cobra. No need to rush, take your time. Toes curl, we power up, plank, then hips up high, downward facing dog. Stay for a breath if you need to. Inhale, right leg lifts up high. Exhale, we step it up. Into lunge, exhale, powers you up. With control to high lunge, we're squeezing the inner thighs together. For balance, we widen the V on the inhale. Exhale, palms come together as we find our twist. Either with the elbow or with the hand. Exhale, both arms swing us back up into high lunge as we square off before pivoting on the back foot, open up warrior two. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Exhale, peaceful warrior. And we pivot. Right foot comes back to meet the left in plank as we lower on the exhale onto the belly, toes split. Exhale, we rise up to cobra, or if you would rather do upward facing dog, you know you can. Exhale, lower, toes split. We power up to plank, then to downward facing dog. Take it to the other side. Left leg kicks up high. Exhale. We're in lunge for the inhale. Exhale, powers you up. Ha, high lunge. Chest lifts, arms widen on the inhale. Exhale, we find our twist. Exhale, squares us back off for one breath before we pivot, opening up to warrior two. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Ooh, exhale, extended side angle. Exhale, power through, peaceful warrior. And we pivot. Left draws back to meet the right. Take your upward facing dog or cobra. Toes curl, we power up to plank and then downward facing dog. Where we stay for one breath. Exhale steps us up. And we feet meet together in forward fold. Clasping the elbows, gently rocking side to side. Maybe you again shake the head, yes. And then no. Fingers come down to the earth, right in front of the feet. We inhale, and on the exhale, we're drawing both feet together, so arch to arch, toe to toe, heel to heel. And then we step the left foot back behind us like we're going to be in lunge. We're going to keep the gaze straight down. As we walk both hands over to the left side of the mat, we start to pivot, drawing the right toes over towards the long edge of the left side of the mat, or making our way into a wide-legged forward fold. So both big toes are pointing towards the midline, heels are pointing out away from the midline. So you've got this like 45-degree inverted angle in the feet. Palms can come down to the mat, or if you need to stay up on the fingertips, that's great. Maybe you're up on the fists. Maybe you've got a block close and you want to bring the earth up to you. Also great. If you've got a little extra room today, maybe you try walking the hands back in line with the arches of the feet, keeping the elbows squared off over the wrists. And we send the breath into the belly, feeling this release in the glutes, the groin, the low back. We're pressing into the outer edge of the foot, encouraging this lift in the arch and this drawing up of energy from the arch up through the inner midline of the leg, the groin. Maybe you find with each breath, you've created just a bit more room for yourself and you're able to sink into the posture a little bit deeper. We're here for one more inhale. And on the exhale, we bring the palms or fingertips to the earth, whatever makes you feel most stable, as we start to lift the heels, drawing them in towards the midline. Then the toes curl towards the midline, then heels, until the feet are just slightly wider than the hips and your toes are pointed out away from you. Gaze is straight down, fingertips are on the earth as we start to lower the hips right in line with the heels. Maybe that means that you're here and you keep your hands on the ground. Weight is shifted forward. Maybe that means you bring a blanket up underneath the heels for a little elevation. Maybe that means you're shooting the tail all the way down to the ground and you bring the palms together right at the heart space. And then lastly, you send the heart towards the thumbs. Growing tall out through the crown. Long rooted down through the tail. We're here for one more breath cycle. And on the exhale, we'll drop the hands in front of us, shifting our weight into our hands just so we can drop both knees onto the mat and shift our way back towards the front of the mat. Big toes come together. We take the knees as wide as the yoga mat, sink the hips back onto the heels. We're going to do just a little bit more of that hip widening before we close them off. So we'll take 3 breath cycles in extended child's pose. So drop the belly, chest, and forehead down to the mat. We inhale. Long, slow exhale. Last one, big inhale. Long, slow exhale. Stay for your next inhale, and exhale. Hips stay nice and heavy as we walk both hands off the left side of the mat. Maybe bringing the right hand on top of the left. Stay for your next inhale. Exhale sends you right through the midline, nice and low as we take it to the other side. Stay for your next inhale. Exhale sends you back through center. We press into the tops of the feet to rise up into tabletop position. We swing both legs off to the side as we come onto the bum, sending the feet out long, soles of the feet to the front of the mat, toes up to the sky. We sit up nice and tall. Maybe you move the glutes out of the way so we can feel the sits bones really rooting down into the mat. So we sit up nice and tall. We're rooted down through the heels, tops of the thighs. Shoulder blades are pinching together. Shoulders are drawn down away from the ears. Inhale, both arms come up overhead. Exhale, we start to bend at the hips, draping the belly over the thighs. Forehead comes towards the knees. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. If you would like to bend your knees here, that's great, please do. But whether your knees are bent or not, we're tugging that femur bone back into the hip socket, so drawing that thigh back in space to encourage this bending at the hip, reaching that belly, chest, forehead towards the legs, understanding and knowing what your sweet spot is and what is your line where not to cross. Big inhales down into the belly, feeling the skin of the low back expand. We're here for 2 more breath cycles. Your next exhale helps you roll, belly's engaged to protect the low back. Back up to your seated position. And we scooch onto the bum, coming onto the back. As we close out our practice, drawing knees up to the chest, interlacing the fingers right around the shins, we draw the knees closer in space towards our face. One more breath cycle. Belly's nice and heavy. Exhale, the arms release into a T at your sides. Knees stay together. Arches stay together as we drop both legs over towards the left side of the mat. Recline twist. Shoulders stay rooted down to the earth. One more inhale. Exhale, belly button to spine, draws you through center as we take the legs over to the right. We feel this deep twist in the abdomen, this ringing and twisting of the internal organs as we send the breath deep down into the belly. One more inhale. Exhale, belly button to spine, draws you back up through center. We drop the soles of the feet down to the mat and then send both legs out long. Hands come to the earth right at your hips, either palms face up or palms face down. And let's take one last breath cycle together. Deep inhale. Long exhale. If you have the time to rest in Shavasana for a few more minutes, please do so. Otherwise, I would encourage you to take some time right before bed to carve out for a full Shavasana. And if you don't have time for it today at all, I understand. I thank you anyway for practicing with me. Thank yourself for showing up. It is one of the hardest things that we can do, but you did it, and I'm proud of you. And I will see you all next time.